and Eric Sheets-Haber. We're going to be talking through some MLB, some NBA. Happy Friday to MJ in the chat and everybody else out there. We appreciate you guys. I want to just remind everybody we have some free trials and stuff that you can get with us that I think you guys would be interested in checking out. Anyway, Sheets, how you doing? And what are your thoughts sort of on this baseball slate? I guess we'll start with baseball.
Yeah, so when I did the projections, at least specifically from the pitching,
yeah,
there was nobody that really stood out. There was like a whole bunch of kind of just like plays. So I was hoping that when I ran my Sims and whatever, I'd get like a bunch of low-owned stuff. So now I'm checking to see exactly what that looks like right now. So right now, pitching-wise, my top-owned guy is a guy I don't want to play. So that's good. We're already starting off. Yeah, I always love playing pitchers against Cleveland. That's always the thing I like to do the most.
Right.
So right now, my top-owned guys would be with Garrett Crochet #1, and then we have somebody coming off the injured list. So here we go. So I got Brian Wu, and Garrett Crochet, and then like an 80-year-old Charlie Morton. So those are my top three. I guess the guy I kind of want to play is Logan Webb. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that, like you said it well. I think that there's actually like I wish we had some of this pitching on like every other slate, because it's not that it's great pitching, but there's a lot of guys in the mid tier that I really like. I just see no reason to spend up whatsoever. However, you might miss out on the ceiling of Glasnow or Joe Ryan, but Houck is the highest I went up to at pitcher. The guys I've got the most of, I'm very happy to take some low ownership. Like I have Andrew Abbott as my highest owned pitcher. He's Andrew Abbott. He's pitching for the Reds. Look, I don't really understand why his projection isn't a little bit better. And actually, it's not even that bad projection. It's just his ownership is going to be low because there's so many guys. I have Abbott the same amount. I have John Gray, and I have Charlie Morton as my other one.
They're really doing it. They're really doing it again. They're going to keep on streaming pitchers in Colorado, huh?
Well, John Gray, first of all, actually when he pitched for Colorado, was actually pretty good in Colorado. This is one of the worst lineups in baseball, and it's one of the worst lineups I've seen released, not named the White Sox. And it's an interesting slate because there really is no obvious stack other than, I guess people would say, Texas. I am just going to play my Dodgers in these situations over and over again. I don't care. I don't care what the projections. I don't care what the ownership is. I don't think it's hard to get to them. It's actually very easy to get to them. I think they should be the highest owned team outside of Texas on the slate, and they're not near the highest owned team outside of Texas on the slate. So I'm feeling very good about the low ownership on the Dodgers overall. And I actually expect them to be higher owned than people are projecting, just because I can't imagine when you have Ohtani, who's just every day, it just seems like you have to play him. I don't know. I don't know why we wouldn't just play the rest of the Dodgers. So that's what I'm doing. What do you do? That's my main stack. I do like Texas, and again, you can pair them with low on stacks. So I think that makes it pretty easy. I also like Philly, but it's just and then I have a lot of Milwaukee, just because sort of I ended up there because none of the stacks are particularly obvious. So I think getting off the board makes a lot of sense tonight.
Well, yeah, the obvious one that I have, I would just presume is going to be the huge chalk, but I guess I forgot about all this Colorado stuff. But I just figured the Red Sox against Corbin.
It's just bad hitting weather like it is everywhere.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's in Boston. You know what I mean? It's 53 degrees with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from center. So it's literally terrible hitting weather. But it's Boston, and the righties can still hit.
And it's Corbin.
And it's Corbin, yeah. So I actually have a lot of pieces, but I didn't. And I thought they would be the popular stack outside of Texas. And while they have some ownership, it's not like enough to keep you totally away from it. I guess they're still going to have some decent ownership, but I think that's totally reasonable. The Boston thing. You know what? I'm actually might get a little bit more Boston. But did you get to any Dodgers in your builds?
No, but I did get to Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Milwaukee one I kind of like too against Lance Lynn. And the truth is, like, honestly, if this was like opening day, you would just be stacking the Cardinals and seeing what happens. But the Cardinals are just, I do have a full Cardinals stack, just to be honest, but it feels like throwing money away playing these guys. Like, and I'm using the pitcher against them also, the 5K, the Glasser. And all of a sudden, Griffin Canning is finally pitching better, and he's 5,600 and no one's playing him. And he's been more expensive, and we've been playing him all year. Now he's 5,600. He's another one you could throw into that cheap mix.
What do you think of the Brian Wu?
Coming off the injured list, he's just I have a little bit of him, but I have him behind Morton and Crochet. The one thing about the Crochet I wanted to add, like Cleveland strikes out an average amount. They're an average team strikeout wise against lefties, and that's
wow. I thought they were like never struck out anymore.
Against righties, they don't ever strike out against righties. But against lefties, they strike out about half. Well, there's a 14th in the league in strikeouts, so it's a little better than a little worse than average. So I feel a little more comfortable with the Crochet play. Having said that, but you look at these totals today. Boston has a 5 total. The Rangers have a 5.5 total. That's it. Like everybody else is in the low 4s, and I'm in on just trying to take some of those shots. I do want to point out some individual plays I love. I think Ohtani is I really think as long as he's still running, you got to try to play the guy every time you can get a chance, because he just puts up 25 freaking fantasy points. It feels like every day, at least. Anyway, and I saw some interviews with some of the Dodgers, and it was interesting because Walker Buehler said it, and then they asked Dave Roberts to respond to it, because Buehler said, "Well, look, he's the greatest player in the history of baseball," and people were sort of up and now the Dodgers have sort of come to support that. It's kind of wild though to hear that said about somebody when Mookie Betts is on the team and they're all agreeing that Ohtani's the best player in the history of baseball. So I like Ohtani as a one-off, and I love Bryce Harper. I think Bryce Harper is going to hit a home run tonight, left, and I don't think he's going to be particularly high owned. So I will say Bryce Harper and Ohtani are going to hit home runs tonight.
Are you playing FanDuel at all?
No, I didn't get to FanDuel. I'm more focused on the NBA. I actually didn't do it. I almost took down the 222 showdown last night. I decided to play one.
Wow.
And ended up finishing 6th at the very end. Cason Wallace was my captain, but which he was good. But the ones that really I had all over the place that had a shot in the showdown until he got fouled out of the game was PJ Washington. I had PJ Washington as a captain everywhere, and he was like less than 1%, I think. I think it was 0.5% or something, and that almost got home. So that was pretty cool.
Well, you know what? We could talk about the NBA if you want, because I see all these. I'm not prepared, but I want to play, and I see all these Q tags showing up. What is all this?
It's annoying, is what it is. Real quick, I'm going to address Cam's thing, and then I'll jump into the NBA stuff. The 29% K rate. Yeah, I have Blackburn on my. I have plenty of Blackburn. There's nothing you're missing. It's just there's a ton of guys who fit the same criteria. So Blackburn is one of them. You know what I mean? It's just the best way to put it. There's no. I don't think there's a standout. I heard. I was listening to other shows. People were saying, how can we not be playing this guy? How can we not be doing this? I just don't think any of these guys are all that different. And I think there's a ton of these cheap guys who are going to have good nights tonight. So that's just my last thing. So NBA, yeah. So here's the ones. Jamal Murray, I'm going to treat that like it's not an issue, because it's been the same Q tag forever. And why am I now going to be worried about it? Jalen Brunson had a Q tag, but they said he's playing. Tyrese Halliburton with a Q tag. Don't worry about it. He's going to play. I just don't. I don't think he's going to play. The one who really worries me is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. That's the thing that's freaking me out a little bit with my builds, because I'm going to be away at a comedy show before that game happens. So I'm not going to be able to make mass edits from my phone. It's just going to be tricky. So I don't know what to do a little bit with that situation with KCP. Fortunately for me, the reason why I think it's okay to just skip and not play KCP. And I like the other guys as potential value anyway, so I can just treat it that way. You know what I mean? Justin Holiday is nobody's able to stop Anthony Edwards or come even close. So they've been playing some Justin Holiday minutes. After he got hurt the other day, Caldwell-Pope, you saw Justin Holiday come in. So I like using Justin Holiday as a fringy play, and I like using some Christian Braun, and I like using some Reggie Jackson. All of those guys will obviously get a boost if KCP is out. So my thinking is I'll be mixing in those guys, and then I'll just live with the results, and I'll take them if he plays, and maybe one of he or Murray even it's too much damage, and they have to fill in for them. So that's the way I'm treating it, is just to play the backups, which I already feel good about doing anyway.
The game twos came in fine style last night, huh?
Yeah, it was exactly. I think we nailed that one, right? No, I got the Boston one wrong. I got the blowout part right.
That's right. That's right.
but I really liked I like the Dallas side of things, and that was a pretty good game, I thought, actually. Um, MJ's asking top stacks. My top stack is the Dodgers. Then I have the most Texas pieces after that, and then I have Philly. That's my teams. And then I do think Boston deserves to be in that conversation as well. So I should throw them in there. But switching into some NBA stuff. Let me just refresh the thing and make sure we got updated projections here. As Rody said, let's get it. Reminder to please click the like button and all that stuff. But I'm kind of pumped about this slate. So I'm looking at my exposures right now, which I put in the premium stuff. But like Precious, Jalen Brunson, nothing crazy there. I'm going to be way overweight. Like the Halliburton, Brunson, and Edwards build is very appealing to me. I also love TJ McConnell. I think Carlisle is finally going to get the message that we have to have McConnell on the floor at the end of the games. It's making no sense to anybody watching. And I thought Stan Van Gundy did a great job pointing it out the other day. That look, he's the only person who seems to have any ability to just provoke Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson gets whatever he wants against everybody else. Put McConnell in there, keep him on him. I think McConnell's going to close today if the game is close. And that's my bold take, or I think he should close. And even if he doesn't, he's a tremendous play anyway. So he's going to be captain in the showdowns. I just really like McConnell, obviously. So where I'm getting different are those fringy value pieces that I was mentioning earlier. I like the fringy ones for the little bit of the Holiday and Christian Braun and whatnot. I'm going to be a little bit more on Miles McBride than I initially thought I would be. Just looking at some other ownerships in my exposures. Let's see what else was one. Jaden McDaniels, I'm happy to be overweight on. Josh Hart is really hard not to play every game in this series. I said it before the series started. There's never going to be a better matchup for a guy like Josh Hart than this Indy team. They play blazing fast. He's the only guy on that Knicks team he's the one who's getting all the rebounds. He's going to have like 15 rebounds again. Even if he doesn't score 10 points, like he's still going to have 45 fantasy points probably, unless it's a blowout or something like that. Anyway, so that's sort of my look is to try and get a little bit different in a few of those weird spots. Oh, Kyle Anderson's another one that you could speculate with. I actually think that Kyle Anderson's like going to be like 2% owned, and he just had a great game. I know that Gobert was out, but maybe Kyle Anderson gets a few more minutes after playing so well in game 2. And I like speculating that way. I also am going to speculate with like 5% Peyton Watson. I just think getting overweight these plays that feel like they can't hit, they just always one of them hits every night, So let's try and find that one tonight. And then I
like the TJ McConnell idea. Yeah, in both showdown and in class.
Yeah. So it's actually interesting because with the hand building, that's what I realized. I'm just loaded. All of my guard spots are going to be from that first game, except for my shooting guard spot, which will be for Edwards, because I'm going to play McConnell, Brunson, and Halliburton. Basically, just lock those guys. I mean, not lock them in, but they'll be in my highest buy-in without a doubt. That's where I'm at. So
you think this KCP thing could be a thing?
Yeah. By the way, Luka was like unowned last night or like low owned. I understand what we're doing. Like, that things go one way or I don't know. Something about it felt weird. And I just because of it, I feel like maybe you get that same thing with Jokic tonight where he comes way lower owned than people are projecting. And I think that's probably a gamble worth taking, especially with Jamal Murray banged up, even though he's playing or he's been playing. I'm going to leave it's probably stupid, but I went underweight Isaiah Jackson right now. Like I just wanted to try and take chances on some of these other fringy ones. He's just going to have a little too much ownership. Actually, you know what? I'm looking at his ownership lowering. Maybe I'll get him in to some hand builds after we're done here. But yeah, so I mean, and Precious is a very difficult fade because of the minutes with no Anunoby. I still am going to also take it. Look, I mean, we're talking about 5% or whatever, but Alec Burks, I'm just going to take stupid shots because I just don't buy that they can get away with playing 6 guys this whole series. The other really fringy one that's probably best used for showdown would be Jericho Sims in case like Hartenstein gets hurt or gets in foul trouble, excuse me. Or if Precious gets in foul trouble because they've been playing those, I don't know. So that would be the get weird one would be Jericho Sims, who I literally don't think I've ever recommended playing. He's starting. All right, so that's pretty much most of my stuff. The golf sucks, by the way, with the no cut. But I have to say, I had a horrible. I literally was like in last place in everything after day one, and now I'm in pretty good shape after day two. So
and now you're not in last anymore. That's good.
Yeah, well, I've got one in like the top. I only built like 12 lineups or something in that sand trap, and I've got one in the top like 50, I think.
Really?
At least it was in the top 50.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. It could. Oh, I think it fell down a little bit. Yeah, it fell down a little bit, down to 264th place.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yep.
Oh no, it's in 77th place. I'm sorry, 77. That's not bad. Yeah, so we'll see how the weekend goes with that. Sheets, anything you want to touch on that from either of these things, baseball or basketball, that you're getting to, or?
No, I mean I like that TJ McConnell thing. That would be my one thing. And baseball, I'm just kind of all over the place. So as you see, I'm not really getting to the Dodgers. So I was about to say someone's got to win, but it's not so easy because there are like 100 games tonight. So.
Right, and honestly, it's gonna, outside of Texas, you're gonna have like. You don't really have to worry. Maybe Boston a little bit, but you really don't have to worry about ownership that much.
Well, I don't have too much of the Texas, so that's, I guess, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe this John Gray thing though, but if you say so,
you're welcome not to. I mean, he was a good. The thing is, he was good when he was in cores, and we all. It's like people like he's been good. I don't really know what else we need from him. You know what I mean? The guy just been solid and consistent and has upside against this team. I mean, he's been an excellent pitcher this year. He probably should be like 9K, 9,500. I don't know why he's 72. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually, now that we look at it, I got to build this Boston thing a little bit.
Again, you made a good point about the weather, though. But
that's the way it is almost everywhere tonight. Like there's no like good hitting conditions anywhere. Everywhere, every stadium is like a downgrade, except for maybe the Angels would be the closest other thing. But I'm not doing the Royals thing again personally. I don't mind if you want to, and I think the Angels are actually kind of interesting as a stack because people have kind of given up on them.
Joe Adele.
Every time I look, man, he hits I don't know how many. He can't have hit that many home runs, but I swear every time I look and they have one run.
I think he's got like 30.
He's gonna break the Bonds' record.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Philly with Boston. Maybe that's the way to. Maybe that's the thing I should do. I like that as a combo. All right, so I'm gonna get to a little bit of that. Let's see, Boston. And by the way, it's probably worth noting that behind Corbin is like possibly the worst bullpen in baseball. So
is that right?
Yeah, like, I think I'm into this idea. I think I've sold myself here on this.
Boston business.
Boston, yeah, Boston. But they also, I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like they stack easier with Philly and the Dodgers than they do anybody else. So that's what I'm going to do. Merrifield's in there, Colorado Wong, Muncie. That's what I keep realizing with the Dodgers. Part of my issue with, like, not my issue, the great thing, like, there's so many different ways to stack that team. Like, I mean, you have like such extreme. I mean, you have Teoscar Hernandez, who's, he's been crushing the ball and he's, batting sixth or whatever. The Muncie guy, Muncie gets forgotten every time because people want to play Ohtani and Betts, and then that means you have to play Lux and Outman or Pages or something. But I would just encourage people to really just keep playing these Dodgers. And it's not going to work every night, but it's going to work far more often than anybody else, than any other team will work. Yeah, I like this Boston Philly thing. All right.
Upload
Correct.
I was interested in uploading Truck Series projections now, and I'm going to probably get out of here.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's going to be another couple of MMA videos going up. I have like very little internet at my house, so there's a betting breakdown that's been recorded, but it's having trouble uploading. But it'll be up there at plenty of time, and I'm going to do a lineup construction video as well, which is going to go up tomorrow. I already did like kind of a special bonus one where I just went over the live qualifier lineup process for me.
Cool.
Just more for my own benefit to talk through it.
Mhm.
So that'll be fun, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get out of here, and I will catch up to you guys later.
All right. Good luck tonight, man. Have a great weekend, and everybody else. I will be. Let's see. Yes, yeah, I like that, Cam. Cam, always good to see you in here, buddy. We're glad you make it. I'm always glad when you chime in too. I like when you type things in here. So we're happy to see you in here, buddy. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and finish some builds. I'm a little scattered right now, so I hope you all have a great weekend. And let's